How about the most afraid you've ever been?
I think the most real fear I ever had was the first year that I did the Tour de France. 200 guys, and they're all the best shape of the year, and they're all winning one stage in that race can make someone's career. And so the intensity that they race is so much greater in the amount of fans around it and the amount of things going on and just chaos that I wasn't quite prepared for. Left me a little bit distracted, and it took me a little while to adjust to that. There was too many helicopters flying over us and too many people yelling. It was like a war. It was the sounds and then just the speed and everything. And the way people were riding, the aggressive style of riding, I was afraid. For at least the first 10 days, I was afraid.
Really?
The entire time, yeah. Excuse me. I mean, it made me focus. I was so afraid that I realized that if I didn't pay attention, I was going to get hurt and probably hurt some other people. It taught me a good deal about focus. I mean, I thought I was focused up to that point in races, but this one was different. This one takes a whole different level.
And you said when we had dinner that when you were able to get past that fear, it made all the difference in the world, right?
Right. Well, at some point I decided that, and I really had to stop and think, because I would get done with the stages and I was literally afraid. I didn't crash, but I was sure I was going to at some point, and it was completely out of my control because it was decisions that people were making around me. I decided that this was my goal and this was my dream, and if I was going to be here and I was going to be taking these risks, I might as well just accept it and stop being afraid and just stay focused and I might as well be the best I can be at it. And if I'm going to be here and taking these risks, I either got to accept that that's what they are or just quit, because I can't just ride around being afraid. I won't get anything out of it. I'll end up losing all the time, and no good will come of that, right? So I finally just taught myself to sort of pretend it was a war. Just pretend that there's a chance I get killed, but this is what I have to do. I have to be here because this is what I decided I'm going to do. And eventually I stopped being afraid, and the risk didn't change at all, but I just accepted it. And once I did that, I think that separated me from a lot of the other guys there, because I don't think a lot of them ever learned that.
Explain what's involved with riding 24,000 miles in a year on a bike.
I can do it because I have talent, but
how many people can? How many people do?
I don't know how many people do it, but I know that that's what you have to do if you want to be a professional and want to win the Tour de France. You can be a professional and ride less, but if you really want to win, there's an amount of time you have to spend riding your bike, and it's more than seems reasonable.
How's the body able to handle that level of mileage?
If you want to be able to win the Tour de France, you have to be able to ride nearly 30 hours a week, and 30 hours a week ride hard for months out of the year and still recover from it. And I think just about anybody that's physically healthy can ride 30 hours a week if they put a little training in, but not very many people can ride hard that amount of time. And the only way to find out if you can do it, I guess, is to try, but it's what distinguishes the people that can get to the very top of the sport and those that can be professionals but aren't going to win.
How mental do you think the sport is?
It's entirely physical up until the point where you have to be able to make critical decisions in order to win a race, and then it becomes mental. So without the physical part, it doesn't matter if you have the psychological part, right? You have to do a certain amount of training. You have to put a certain amount of time into it. And then there's people that do that, and when they get to the point where they have to perform under pressure, they can't do it. So then it's all mental to them. But the two are completely separate. I mean, it's hard for me to put a number on how much of it is mental, because I see them as two entirely different things.
How much would you toy with competitors during your race?
If I was in a position to win, I would. And I think a lot of people would. A lot of guys who win big races would. Not try to allow other people to know how you're feeling or what you're going to do next. So that part of it too becomes psychological. But first you have to get there, and you also have to be able to perform on the day. You have to perform, and that's what makes professional sports of every kind, to me, intriguing, because there's so much involved, and there's so many different nuances that people don't see apart from just the physical performance that they're watching, that are required for someone to actually be able to perform at the top. That, to me, it's what make professional sports beautiful.
In terms of talent, what do you think are the biggest factors that separate the cyclists in the peloton?
It's hard for me to put a number on how many people are physically talented enough to win the Tour de France, for example. There's not very many. There's probably 10 in any given year. And then it comes down to how much commitment they have throughout the rest of the year to what they're doing, and how much focus they have during the race, and how much they allow the things that are going on around them in the given moment and they have to perform to affect them. If they're easily distracted, or they're intimidated, or anything, then they can't do it. Which is why you see guys that often win multiple tours. I mean, they don't look like they're that much better, and they don't win the race by that much, but they have some small thing, or some small way they're superior. Often it comes down to a psychological thing at that point.